So we have a Freightliner Columbia, year 99, taking off this tank and hoses, 2 hoses. This is the hydraulic unit we're taking off, the PTO pump. Off the transmission. I'm gonna take that off. And basically show this in the reverse order. Basically, we're gonna take this off, and if someone wanted to put this back on, they would know how to do it. Not precisely, but would have a great idea on how to do it. So here we have, this is a check valve with the arrow. Okay, this is the return. This is the this is what the pump sucks out and then pushes back in. And I'm gonna test that too. Make sure I'm not lying. Yeah, so the fatter line is all the returns. But the way it returns through the filter. And then pulls it out of the hydraulic system. In our case, this is for a car hauler. So, as you can see, we're gonna get up there. The line that's above on the pump, I guess the proper way to say it is there's a PTO and the pump. The PTO is that red thing that hooks up to the transmission. Comes with a plate. Mine did anyway. It came with this plate. So when we remove it, we have a much thinner plate that just goes on to here with a, you can use a gasket or you can just put silicone on it and return it. I'm gonna try to show that in the video too. If I don't, just imagine that this plate, a lot thinner though, goes on here without a hole in here, obviously. So this here is the air that turns on the PTO and runs this pump. This is your output, so the force of the liquid is going that way. So in our case, it's going above, and we follow it up there. It goes into that plate. Right here. And then it'll come out of the plate and into those hoses that we've seen above there. That one and that one. So above line, which is this one, is the hydraulic output line, and this line is our return line coming out of that filter system underneath. Right here. So, boom, boom. So what's doing the pulling is the pump sucks it in that way and pushes it out through that top line. So in and out basically. And so that we always have clean fluid, we use the pump. See, you can see this is on the bottom, this is the top, so that it's always taking a lot of oil through the bottom one, sucking it in through the pump. That way it doesn't get any bubbles or anything, or air obviously. And then it just freely falls into the tank. So we're gonna go look at the connectors. Okay, so we got these guys. They go into the car hauler trailer. Supply and return. Yeah, this is how you would install one. If someone's trying to figure out how to run their lines, trying to figure out how the tank mounts. This is a Freightliner Columbia. I pulled this stuff out of a Freightliner Argosy. So the tank came, the filter housing came, the pump with the PTO came from a Freightliner Argosy, and it's already set up for an 8-car hauler system. I'm pulling off the PTO system off of a Freightliner Columbia, year 99, Detroit 60, series 12.7. We're taking off the tank, draining the fluid now, taking off all these hoses. So I'm mainly doing this video for myself, so I know how to put it on the different truck. Probably gonna be another Freightliner Columbia. Well, this one has a 10-speed Meritor, and the Eaton Fuller takes the same pump, which this pump came off of. It came off of a Freightliner Argosy, which had a 10-speed Eaton Fuller, and it fit just perfectly in here, all the teeth and everything. So this here is our return, this fat line. This fat line still is our return, which goes up there. And those two lines right there come up through the plate above and go outside into the loop. to go to the car hauler trailer. So the line that goes up is our supply. Comes up there. And does that. These are just fittings that were comfortable to use. Don't have to be this funky 90. It can be just a simple 90, but this was the 90 that we used. It was a comfortable situation for me. This plate here was added, drilled through here and threaded, so those will come out. This was a plate that I made up. So all of this has to come out. That line there is our air line to switch the PTO on and off. It also has electrical line, electrical wire that I did not put on yet. It would go here. Basically, it turns on a red light telling you that you have your PTO is on. That way you don't go driving with this. Once this comes off with all these bolts, a metal plate will go on there and shut this with some silicone. I'm going to show you the plate in a second. That's the plate. Put some silicone on here, tighten it up. Supply, return, loops up. I have it sitting up here with these newer types. I like these. Really nice. Well, if you take it off in that order, you'll probably be able to turn it, you know, put it back in. The only thing to know is you got to figure out what spacing to use between this plate. So there's gaskets in here. You put those gaskets in however many you need in between. That's so the teeth don't bang into the transmission. They have to have play. And there's a booklet for these pumps. You can find this info online of what spacing you need. And actually, this comes off. 2 more bolts up top, so 4 comes up, and you can watch the gear, and you can turn it by hand too and see if it's slamming or if it's too tight. There's a tool you can put on there, like a gauge, I believe, and read your play. from like left to right. If it's not even doing that, you're too tight, you have to take this off and put more gaskets in. Several hours later. So, transmission oil got drained, the PTO and the pump came off, along with all the hoses, everything, plus the tank came off. Pretty easy to take it off. Put this plate back on. That's some silicone. I took acetone, wiped everything down. I also used the old gasket, which was nice, on this plate. So one other thing, I do want to put this little guy, quick connect, 1/4 inch for that line that was going into the pump. Where is that line? Oh, right here. So I'm gonna have to cut this off real quick and reconnect it to our green line right here. This was the 5th wheel slide. The 5th wheel slide wasn't working, so that is what I decided to use for the PTO, to activate the PTO. So let's see if we can cut this with like one hand only. Come on, we can do it. Perfect. Okay, and that should be in. One hand, guys. Not so easy, but you have to feel for it.